Welcome to the Land House channel. I'm Seth. Today I am taking a look at the UDPOWER C400. This is a small and lightweight power station that has a 400 watt AC output with a surge of 800. It's also got lots of DC ports, and one of my favorite things, it has a 12 volt car jump starter cable as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this power station and test it out to see how well it performs. As far as packaging goes, it had two pieces of foam on the side of the power station, easy to remove. The cables and the power cords are all tucked in neatly, and there was no damage whatsoever to the power station whenever I pulled it out of the box. The items that you get with this power station are, of course, the C400 power station. It has the jump starter cables, which the cord here is only about 1.5 feet long. Not super long, but should be enough to get the job done. It has two different power cables. It's got the AC power with the DC adapter there. And it also has the car charging adapter, so you can plug that up to your car. And then lastly, it has a little user manual with some good information in there. Let's take a tour around this power station. Down here at the bottom, you've got the UDPOWER logo. Over here is where the charging is going to happen. It can charge both from the car adapter, the AC wall plug, or even a 150 watt solar panel. Over here, we've got the 18 watt USB, 35 watt USB-C, and a 65 watt input or output USB-C on the top. Now to turn on the DC ports here, there's a power button right here, and that will turn on these, but also the 12 volt car port right there as well. Moving over to this side, we have got the AC output, and it does have a plug here in the middle so that you can use this with ground if you need to. To turn on the AC, it's got the power button right up here. Now there's a normal and economy mode switch right here, and basically the screen will turn off after a minute when it's on normal, and the whole unit will shut down or go into standby mode after 5 hours on normal. When it's in the economy mode, it's 30 seconds for the screen and 2 hours for the sleep mode. Now, over here there are lights on both sides. Looks kind of like cat ears. And this button right here will activate that. And then lastly on the front, the power button on this side. Handle up top. On the side, it's got cooling ports right there. And on the back, you see the 400. That's the AC output, and also the model number of this unit. And lastly, down here is your jump starter plug-in. I have the AC power cord right here. I'm going to plug this in. A little light shows up right here. The display did pop on. Looks like this unit was shipped at 36%. It's going to take 2.1 hours to charge at 94 watts. Now this unit could use the 65 watt USB-C input if you have one of those adapters, and it will dual charge from the AC port and from this DC port right here. Well, let's let this sit for the next 2 hours and fully charge. I found a USB-C with an adapter. Let me see if it'll work here if I plug this up. So 93 watts. Let's see what it goes up to. Well, 103, so it's a little faster. The power station is now 100% charged. Let's test out the various outputs on this unit. Starting off with the light. So it's got these two lights on the side. To activate that, I'm going to press this button right here. I turned off my shop light so we can see this. All right, there we go. That's the low setting, medium, and then finally the high setting. It says that it's going to use 4 watts and last for 7 hours with that much light right there. Now there is one more setting. If I hold this button down for 3 seconds, it will go into the SOS mode, as you can see right there. It's just going to flash SOS. All right, and press one more time to turn that off. In order to test out the AC, I have two different appliances here. I've got a skill saw or a jigsaw, and then I've got this LED light panel. So this LED light panel uses right at 200 watts. So whenever I plug this up, it should be able to run this LED. This is also going to show us how clean the output is. If this light flickers, that means it's not pure sine wave. If it is a nice, consistent, straight beam of light, then it will be pure sine wave. So let me go ahead and turn on the AC power over here. On the display, it does show AC power is on, and I just clicked right over here. So let's go ahead and plug this up. All right, that's a nice, consistent output. Let me turn this away so we can see the display of this. 226 watts. It'll last 1.1 hours with that much light, that much power coming off of this power station. Very good. That also means that if you're going to be running power to a laptop, then it's pure sine wave and it will be nice, consistent power to run that. So very good. All right. So we know that it will do 226 watts very well. But what happens if we step up to something that has a higher power draw? Let me see what this will do here. That actually only used 270 watts, so let's go bigger. I know it'll trip this thing, so let's get the angle grinder. I have an angle grinder. Now, the surge power on the C400 is 800 watts. I think that this runs at about 700 watts, so it may start up for a moment, but won't last very long. So let's see how it does here. Let's get that display back on. No, it was able to crank it up, but immediately turned off. So as I expected, it's got a 700 watt output, and this unit was not meant to handle that. However, I see that the display is still on. Hopefully you can see that. Let me go back to that light and see if it's still running. Sometimes you have to reset these power stations, but yeah, okay, no output there. Yeah. Turn that off for the AC. Turn it back on. There we go. Yep, so it triggered a safety whenever that 700 watts kicked on, and so I had to just push the AC button once and then a second time to bring that back up. So, okay, very cool. The wattage on that angle grinder was 700. This was 226, and it runs it as you would expect. So, all right, that takes care of the AC side. Let's move on to the DC side. I was looking around my shop to see if I had anything that would use the 12-volt car charge port there, and I don't find anything. So what we're going to do now is simply test out the USB. So I'm going to plug that up, turn that on by pressing the button here. Okay, it's on now. The DC symbol does show up there. Now, I'm just going to charge my cell phone, and we should see the display come on here, just like that. Very good. And that is charging at 14 watts. So, very cool. All right, well, that's all I can do here on the DC side is use that USB. UD Power refers to the jump starter option as the car rescue or one-click ignition. To use that feature, you simply will take your jumper cable. The red is going to go to the positive over here on your car battery or on your lawnmower or four-wheeler or whatever you need to jump start. The negative is going to go over here with the black cable. Make sure you have turned the unit on. As you can see, it is now on. And now you will just turn the ignition of your vehicle and it will match the amperage that needs to be used to start the battery. Now, if you fail to start it the first time, wait about 30 seconds and then try again, and it should be able to crank up your battery. This unit right here is an ideal size to keep in your vehicle for that very purpose. So yes, having the light is very good. Having the ability to jump a battery is awesome, and also having the ability to charge cell phones or even run a laptop or some small appliance like that makes this unit good to have, especially in an RV or in a vehicle. And there we have it, a brief introduction to the UDPOWER C400 Power Station. This is a nice little unit, especially to keep in your car. Now, the only thing that is a bit of a downside is that it only has a 256 watt-hour battery. So you can basically run a 400 watt application for less than an hour before this thing is drained up. It will run those lights for 7 hours from a full charge, and one of its main features is that it is a jump starter. So you can easily hook this up to a dead battery and get it going again. So if you want to check out the UDPOWER C400, I will have a link in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.